What is up, everybody? This is Pastor Jacob, and I'm back with another Bible verse breakdown. This time, it comes from 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. And it reads, "Husbands, likewise, dwell with them with understanding, giving honor to the wife, as to the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered." 1 Peter 3, verse 7. Okay, so y'all know what I'm going to say right now before I go any further. Context, context, context. So in order for us to understand this verse, we need to get the correct context and put it all together so we can focus in on what it is absolutely saying in this verse, so we can come away with a better understanding. All right, so we're going to start at verse 1 then of chapter 3, verse 1. "Wives, likewise be submissive to your own husbands, that even if some do not obey the word, they without a word may be won by the conduct of their wives, when they observe your chaste conduct accompanied by fear. Do not let your adornment be merely outward, arranging the hair, wearing gold, or putting on fine apparel. Rather, let it be the hidden person of the heart, with the incorruptible beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is very precious in the sight of God. For in this manner, in former times, the holy women who trusted in God also adorned themselves, being submissive to their own husbands, as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters you are, if you do good and are not afraid with any terror. Husbands, likewise, dwell with them with understanding. Give honor to the wife, as to the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered." Okay, so as we look at the context, if you go further back to chapter 2, you see where Peter is telling the husbands how to love their wives and to treat their wives and to respect their wives. Then he goes on in chapter 3, which is what we just read, and he's telling the women, the wives, to submit to their husbands and how they're supposed to do that, not letting their beauty be on the outside only. So Peter here is not forbidding beauty on the outside. So it's not forbidding makeup or jewelry or nice hairstyles. It's not forbidding that. But Peter is saying, don't let your beauty just be on the outside. Let your beauty be shown from the inside out. That wives display a quiet and gentle, submissive spirit, and this is precious to God. So then we know if it's precious to God, it ought to be precious to us. A quiet and gentle spirit, ladies. All right, so as we get to verse 7 here, Paul turns back to the husbands, and he says, "Husbands, dwell with them, dwell with your wives, live with your wives with understanding," meaning understand them. Don't let them be afraid of you. Don't be antagonistic to them. Don't be tyrannical towards your wives. Don't be a jerk towards your wife. Don't try to be a ruler over your wives. However, although God has given us as husbands the command to lead in the home and in the church, and he has given us the command to lead our families, we must also lead minus arrogance. We must lead minus tyranny. We must lead minus over-aggressive behaviors. We must lead minus angry outbursts. We must lead in a way that honors women, knowing that they are weaker than us, physically weaker, not spiritually weaker, not mentally weaker, not stupid, not dumb, but physically the weaker vessel. That you, being that you're stronger than them, don't use your power in an abusive manner. Deal with them in a loving, godly, honorable manner. Love them, honor them, like Christ loved the church. Christ don't beat up on the church. Christ don't disrespect the church. Christ don't slap the church around. Christ doesn't abuse the church. So then we as husbands, we must love our wives and deal gently with them and honor them as the weaker vessel. So weaker, not meaning mentally, but weaker as in, I'm a man, I could lift up this desk by myself. My wife may need help. So then when you can see the similarities of stronger versus weaker, then you who has the strength, you don't use your strength as a form of oppression to your wife. So I hate to even use the word oppression because I know that kind of lends to woke ideology nowadays, but I'm not using it in any kind of woke manner. I'm using it as what the Bible is explaining here. Husbands, don't use your authority in your home because you are the leader of your home. Don't use your authority to oppress your wives, but love them and deal with them as a weaker vessel, as someone who has less strength than you. Then you should be protecting them, that you should be preserving them, that you should be carrying the load for them, since you're the stronger person. Now, you see what God means by the weaker vessel. The woman being the weaker vessel is not a hit at them. It's more of a duty for a man to fulfill. You see that? God is calling the woman the weaker vessel, meaning that, hey, sir, you're the man, you're the leader. The responsibility is on you. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you understand this verse a little bit better. I pray it helps you as it helps me, because I'm listening to myself preach this thing, and I'm like, I am not where I'm supposed to be. Lord help me. So, Lord help us all. God bless you. Thank you.